utilities. Therefore, the requirement catalog is divided into 5 categories, namely human resources, occupational health and safety, operation, maintenance, and quality control. Each of those fields containing up to 12 questions asking if compliance with national laws, bylaws, standard operational procedures, or best practice is ensured. Within the inspection, the management of utilities must provide evidence of fulfillment. If fulfillment to all questions is assessed, the utility will be certified for a certain period. If not, the utility will be re-inspected after a period of 3 months. Within the period, the utility has the chance to improve in order to fulfill requirement. On this side, such a question from the requirement catalog is shown. On the top, you see the question. In here, for example, are there logbooks for recording the operational data and procedures? In the middle part, a reference to national codes is provided, and in the bottom, the guidance on how to implement those requirements are provided.
TSM as a quality management system is following an integrated approach to continuously improve. Following this approach, TSM will be first adapted into the Jordanian context by referring to Jordanian laws, standards, codes, and regulations. Next, the idea is to integrate energy efficiency as an additional field into the system. Acting this way, a significant reduction in energy consumption of the wastewater treatment plants is expected. The next step is to develop, respectively, adapt the criteria catalog as shown in the slide before. Afterwards, system procedures on how to conduct inspections, who should participate in the inspections, who is the certifying unit, how often are inspections done, and so on, are developed. Following that, a pilot inspection in 1 or 2 treatment plants within the Yarmouk Water Company will be done. As a result of that pilot inspection, the whole process has to be reviewed and, if required, even adapted. This cycle will be done not only once after the first pilot inspection, but constantly to keep up with the latest codes, regulation, laws, and technical developments. In the coming 3 slides, the exact expected impacts of TSM will be presented. Starting with the economic impacts, the operational performance is supposed to improve through the increased efficiency and effectiveness. The electricity consumption will decrease through regular preventive maintenance and acting according to SOPs. On top of that, safety standards will increase, which leads to less injuries. Also, the job satisfaction will be on a higher level through clear HR strategies. Further retention of qualified staff and less brain drain as a result of continuous learning opportunities for employees is even expected. Qualified staff will also maximize employees' productivity. Furthermore, improved preventive maintenance can eliminate issues before they emerge, which will decrease expensive downtimes and shutdowns. An impact to the environment is expected as well. First, a reduction of greenhouse gases because of reduced energy consumption and high energy efficiency is expected. But also the contamination of groundwater due to improved operational performance of wastewater treatment plants is prevented. There will be a legislative impact as well when having a sound oversight function of WARCH over its wastewater treatment plants. TSM will support WARCH in monitoring and evaluating the utilities. But at the same time, TSM supports wastewater treatment plants in complying with legal requirements, such as occupational health and safety regulations, among others.
There are different quality management systems. On this slide, ISO 9001 Quality Management and ISO 14001 Environmental Management System and TSM are compared. As known, those ISO standards have the higher focus on quality and at the same time on environment. However, to implement ISO, high workload is required and high costs occur. On the other hand, ISO does not focus that much on technical requirements. In comparison, TSM is a cost-effective system which comparable little workload, which enables facilities to fulfill technical but also legal and other requirements. In this table, a more detailed comparison between ISO and TSM is provided, but due to time constraints, a detailed analysis is not possible. However, as explained before, technical sustainable management adapted to the Jordanian context will require less workload and will have lower costs instead of implementing ISO. And keeping in mind the objective of TSM is to optimize processes, structures and qualification of staff in wastewater treatment plants in Jordan.
Finally, outlook to TSM in Jordan will be given. The first 3 steps, establishing a TSM working group, review comparable quality management systems, and identifying relevant national laws, codes, and standards, has happened already. Step 4 and 5, developing a draft criteria catalog and developing procedures within the national context, is currently in process. As a next step, inspectors will be trained on how to carry out inspections in wastewater treatment plants. Afterwards, pilot inspections are planned in 1 or 2 wastewater treatment plants under Yarmouk Water Company. Based on that, and a review and, if required, an adaptation of procedures, and the requirement catalog will be done. With the updated procedures and catalog, TSM will be implemented in all Yarmouk Water Company treatment plants. Last but not least, there will be a continuous review, adaptation, and implementation as explained already before. As presented in the beginning of this presentation, the origin of TSM was not in the wastewater sector. TSM is a tool which can be implemented also in water utility, water networks, wastewater collection systems, but also desalination facilities. Once TSM is implemented in the wastewater sector and proving impact, the system might be a useful tool in those sectors as well. Apart from that, TSM could even be implemented all over Jordan. Thank you very much. Is it foreseen to have questions here?
تفتح المجال للأسئلة هلا إذا في حدا بيحب يسأل على هذا البرزنتيشن. رح ناخذ سؤال أو سؤالين. تفضل.
But can we switch to English because I don't have my mic here? I speak.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Sultan Al-Salami, Business Development Manager in Haya Water, the wastewater management company in Oman, from Sultanate of Oman. We are considering that benchmarking is very effective elements for our operation to see where is our business in the world, either in the operation, OPEX or CAPEX, costs, efficiency, and so on. So I'm asking if the TSM concerning also the benchmarking process, so we can see ourselves in which level. This is first. Second question about the TSM itself. It's not a technology, it is a process, right?
Yeah.
So is that applicable in different countries in GCC or it's only in Egypt and Jordan so far? Thank you.
Yeah, as we explained already, it's not only in Jordan and Egypt, it could be developed elsewhere, but you have certain steps and procedures. Yeah? They should be adapted to a national context. This is even the idea of what we are doing here in Jordan. So it needs to be adapted. Compared to Egypt, for example, they have more than, 1,000 facilities, treatment plants and water utilities, and in Jordan we have only 33 or 42 wastewater treatment plants. Our colleagues from Egypt, they did an impact assessment, will be provided tomorrow, no, after tomorrow in a session in the morning. Maybe they present some impacts. So far we have no impact because we are still under implementation. Yeah? We do not have any success stories to be told. So, and benchmarking is not benchmarking in the sense that we compare wastewater treatment plants in Jordan with international benchmarks, but to a certain standard. Yeah? We benchmark the facilities to a set standard, but in Jordan, to Jordan standard.
So if I want to benchmark my business with different practices around the world, either in Jordan or in Europe or Far East, so is there any tool you have to benchmark?
Not within TSM. Yeah.
Thank you.
Faiz Badr, GIZ. Really, I'm glad to see this success, and I hope next step to be focused on water network, because we already started this water network, and we found really a large saving in the leak, from the leaks. Some areas reach for about 30% saving of water. That means it is very urgent in Jordan, due to the scarcity of water, to start after this pilot system to extend it into water network. It will be very helpful to Jordan. Thank you.
As we said before, this would be our vision, to extend it to other areas or sectors. We are convinced. You don't need to convince GSZ, but we have to convince our partners first. Yeah, when implementing a TSM in wastewater facilities, and then, if once success is proved, then we will continue for sure.
شكرا دريك وليون. هلا بنتابع مع زميلتنا المهندسه رانيا، رح تحكي عن التحديات والامكانيات لتطبيق الاداره اللامركزيه لمياه الصرف الصحي في الاردن.
Thank you, هبة. يسعد مساكم جميعا. As mentioned earlier by Mrs. Frauka, we are presenting today on behalf of our counterpart, so that's why my name is Rania, but the name that is written on the first slide is not my name. So I'm going to talk about the potentials and challenges of decentralized wastewater management in Jordan. The contents will cover basically the main activities of our project, the ACC project, and the definition of the decentralized wastewater management as per literature and based on our experience as ACC project, in addition, of course, to the potentials and challenges of decentralized wastewater management in Jordan context. Basically, the GIZ project, Decentralized Wastewater Management for Adaptation to Climate Change, ACC project, started in 2014. And the main aim of this project is to strengthen the capacity of our counterpart, Ministry of Water and Irrigation, Water Authority of Jordan, and other partners in decentralized wastewater management through piloting decentralized wastewater treatment and reuse systems in Jordan. We have mainly two pilots. The first picture shows one module, biogas reactor, in one of our pilots, which is implemented in the southern part in Jordan. It is a decentralized unit for Finan Ecolodge in Dana Biosphere Reserve. We almost finished our pilot, and we expect to open the project officially in April. In addition to Finan decentralized wastewater treatment plant, we have another close to nature component at Wadi Hassan, centralized system in northern part to treat liquid sludge generated from the centralized system there through close to nature technology, which is a sludge drying reed bed. In addition to our demonstrations, to our pilots in the northern and southern part, we have also, of course, tools for scaling up, starting from the construction manual, operation and maintenance, tender documents for different wastewater treatment plant sizes, maybe 50 meter cube per day, 5 meter cube per day. It's complete tender documents which include BRQs, drawings and specifications. In addition to these tools, we develop also decentralized wastewater management and reuse concept, in addition to business models that will be developed in the middle of this year, as also a support for our counterpart in the decentralized wastewater management in order to facilitate the implementation and dissemination of decentralized wastewater management in countrywide level. Of course, in each GIZ project, the capacity development and awareness is an integral part of our work. So we have to build the capacity because we believe that qualified staff could assure the sustainability of the project once the GIZ left the project area. Regarding the definition of decentralized wastewater management, I would like to highlight the distinction between the literature definition and what we experience on the ground as a project. If you read any article related to the decentralized wastewater management, you will find the same definition. It is to treating wastewater, raw wastewater, at or close to the point of generation. Wherever you try or you Google it, you search for this definition, you will find the same definition for decentralized wastewater management. I can assure you this is not working on the ground, at least in Jordan, because once you started to approach people in small villages or in rural areas to have the decentralized wastewater treatment systems within their own premises, they refuse it completely without any discussion, and sometimes they will not open the door for you even to discuss what do you mean about it. So basically, even in the decentralized wastewater management policy, which has been developed by the Ministry of Water and Irrigation in 2016, they were talking about the implementation of this management approach in rural areas, and you can find the definition exactly in the slide. The definition considers only the distance in addition to the capacity of